Good morning. All right. So, you guys are in for a real treat today. Usually, when I prepare my lives, I'll go inside and outward, and I'll kind of just, my intention will be to come up with a topic for my live and to come up with whatever inspiration and creativity, and I'll just write it down. So, almost like channeled work. And so when I was preparing for this live, this was Monday. I did that, and my intention, I wasn't sure where I was going to go. My intention was to offer you something around more the energetic practice, because last week I talked about my simple framework, my 1 to millions, and it was all about strategy. So this week I wanted to do something around the inner work, the mindset, the energetics of wealth and abundance and ease in creating the results we want in our business. And so I'm just going to make sure that I see myself live and that we are on. Yeah, there I am. Okay. So I opened to the beyond and started channeling this wisdom, and it's so good. It's so good that I considered for a brief moment to actually do something else with you guys and keep this for my high-end private clients and just do like a bonus training for them. But then I thought, my intention was to come up with something for you guys. And that's what came up. And I have to trust that this is for somebody or for many of you, and that spirit wanted me to share this rather than keep it for my private clients. And so I'm coming live today to share this. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Elsa Cantier. Essentially, what I do is I help ambitious, soul-driven, service-based entrepreneurs to get booked out without burnout by dissolving doubt, unlocking their brilliance, and essentially following a really simple 3-step process that doubles and triples their results with doing half the work, half the effort, and half the time. And if you want to figure out what that looks like for you, if you look in the description of this live, I offer free complimentary 1 hour with me aligned business breakthrough session, where essentially it's an hour of my eyes on your business to figure out how to quantum leap your results with a lot more ease, a lot more enjoyment, and a lot more freedom. So if that's something you want to try out, link is in the description. I say this because in Facebook, it should be above you, but if you're on YouTube, it will be below you. So I'm really glad you're here. Whether you're watching this live, you're watching this in the replay, say hi to me. So let's get started. Because I work with many soulful, sensitive entrepreneurs, and I have for years, and I consider myself one of those people as well, I've noticed a pattern. And I've noticed a pattern that holds us back and shows up over and over. And I say us because I'm including myself in this. This is something that I've worked with for years, that I still work with, and that I see all around me in my clients, including people who have been in business for a very long time and are extremely successful. So this isn't a problem of those who struggle. This is just a problem of being human and being soulful and wanting to really transform the world. And that pattern, which is a subtle and sometimes not so subtle sense of not being or having enough. It's an insidious lie that comes up for all of us at some point or another and creates self-doubt. So here's the thing. For you to make the impact you know is possible, that you were born to create, to make, for you to make the income you desire, the kind of money you know is possible, and to essentially make that and create that consistently, That's the first thing. You have to first become aware and then start disrupting and shedding any and all patterns within you, any beliefs around not enoughness. So what that looks like is feeling not ready enough, not good enough, not credentialed enough, not extroverted enough, not funny enough, not pretty enough, not smart enough, not rich enough, not successful enough, not established enough, not recognized enough, not together enough, not experienced enough. Like, it shows up in so many ways. Even a sense of not being sure we can provide a transformation for our clients, that maybe our program is not enough or our offers are not enough. Even beliefs about the not enoughness or the lack, the scarcity in our environment. Like, there's not enough ideal clients around me. People don't have enough money right now who are investing. There's not enough time. There's not enough energy. There's not enough support. There's not enough money. Anything like that essentially is focused on lack, has to be met, has to be released, because not enoughness and lack literally creates more not enoughness and lack. So here's the truth. I can almost guarantee you that if you're not making the impact you know you can make, if you're not making the money you desire, then somewhere in the background, more than likely, deep down, underneath your confidence, underneath your brilliance, underneath your deep desire to serve, there's lurking and hiding an insidious, subtle belief that in some way you or your work is lacking or not enough. And I have seen this to be true over and over and over for years. Whenever I have like a launch or something that doesn't work, and I step back and I look at where was that result within me, I always find it. There's always, when something doesn't work out, there was a sense of doubt. There was a sense of lack. There was a sense of not being ready or not having what it takes, something like that. Or maybe that offer not being completely perfect. And so that energy would show up in how I showed up, essentially, and create the kind of results I didn't want. Because we have that sense of not enough, of lack on the inside, it becomes not safe for you to literally be fully out, fully unleashed, fully seen and visible in your work, in your sacredness, in your amazingness. And that is why we literally, like, the results don't happen. So that subtle sense of not enough will create a sense of guilt, a sense of shame, and a sense of fear around being found out, around being discovered. And it is essentially what keeps us from becoming truly visible and attracting our highest level clients. And when I say highest level clients, I mean the kind of clients that are going to really light you up. I mean the kind of clients who are going to pay you really great money. And also those clients who are going to show up powerfully and are actually going to do the work and get the kind of transformation you're providing, and that's possible for the kind of work you do. The kind of clients who essentially are going to make you feel really great about doing the work you do and really confident with delivering your genius. What happens is we're either not getting enough clients or we're getting the wrong kind of clients when we're moving from that place of doubt and from that place of not enoughness and lack, which then the wrong clients does create, it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It does create more of that sense of not enoughness, because those kind of clients are not a joy to work with. They're not doing the work, they're not getting the results, or they're not paying us what we should be paid. So this sense of not being enough, not having enough, of lack, of scarcity, of self-doubt, it will lead to undercharging, overgiving, so we're overcompensating essentially for that inner sense. Um, it will lead to procrastination, to self-sabotage, and then it will also, on the other side of that swing, it will lead to overactivity, to essentially throwing spaghetti on the wall and being busy, 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 hoping something sticks, and chasing shiny objects. So that sense of not enoughness literally blocks us from all around. The thing to remember is that lack does what it does best, and that is to keep us in lack and to keep creating lack in our life. So that shows up with not having enough client, not having enough money coming in, not enough joy, not enough ease, that kind of stuff. So if you're not having as much fun as you could be having in your business, if it's not as easy, as in flow, as abundant, if you're not having the impact you know your work can have, then it needs to become a priority for you to really look at what's going on inside and where you're holding these things subtly, because your outer world is a reflection of your inner landscape. Most of us have parts inside us that are literally not yet committed to being truly alive, to being truly visible, to living in our purpose and being in our purpose, to truly claiming that we're extraordinary and we're destined for massive impact and massive success. What happens is these parts literally, they're not ready. They don't believe that, so they get in the way. Those parts are the reason why we're not the most powerful force in our life yet. Those parts are the reason why we're not unstoppable, unleashed, why we're not having the impact we want to have, or we're sabotaging our results, or I see it sometimes like resisting the path of least resistance. Like we're literally overcomplicating things. We are looking at other people and trying to follow what other people are leading, or comparing ourselves to them. We're overthinking things. We're literally, or on the other side, we're avoiding doing the things we know we should do. Those things, like when you see patterns of that, like you know there is something within you, a part of you, that is afraid to succeed, that is afraid to be visible, that doesn't feel worthy or deserving, and is stuck in that sense of not enough, not worthy enough, not good enough, not ready enough, not enough in some ways. So this isn't about blame. This is about claiming an empowerment, because when you claim and you own that your life and your results are literally an emanation of yourself and an emanation of whatever is still stuck within you, then you literally are capable and have the power to change whatever's happening out there by changing yourself. You suddenly have the power to transform your life, to transform your business, to transform your results from the inside out by transforming yourself. And it all starts with awareness of that sense of not being quite enough, not being quite ready. Something that has a seed in lack. When those lack beliefs, those non-enoughness beliefs will impact your energy, they'll impact your courage, they'll impact your certainty, and essentially they erode your power, they erode your magnetism, they erode your self-esteem all over time, your confidence all over time. They affect the choices you make and how you show up. And essentially, they create the results that you either don't want, or they start limiting the results that you could get. So this is where we see somebody doing a strategy and they're actually pretty successful, but they've reached a ceiling. They can't get past, or they've reached a plateau. They can't get past a certain level. That is something inside them that's happening. So you have to be willing to literally become an archaeologist of your soul. You have to be willing to start getting curious as to what limiting belief is running the show behind a curtain, and what parts of you are actually afraid or resisting the very thing you want. Everyone wants strategy. Like all my clients come to me because they want to know the strategies to get to fill their programs, to get clients with ease, to design a really simple business that they love. And here's what I have to say to you. Strategies work. This is the secret. All strategies work. I believe some work better than others based on the market, based on the time, based on each person's personality and energetic blueprint. But in the end, all strategies work. And the opposite is also true. No strategy works. No strategy works without the right energy, the right inner fuel, the right mindset behind it. No strategies work if they're not executed from a place of sovereignty, from a place of expansion, of freedom, of flow, of essentially owning, claiming your inner genius. This is where lack and that sense of not being enough really gets in the way. Because without that confidence that is released when you release those limiting beliefs around lack, then it doesn't matter what you're doing. You're never going to quite get the results you could be getting because something in you is afraid to succeed. Something in you doesn't feel quite safe being visible. Something in you doesn't feel like it has what it needs to have. It has what it takes to create the transformation they desire to create for their clients. So first, you have to become aware of where or how not enoughness or lack is showing up even subtly in yourself. And you have to start questioning that shit. And you have to start disrupting these beliefs and letting them go. So that's the first part of really unlocking your brilliance, unlocking the wealth and the impact you're here to create in the world. The second thing you have to really have in place to actualize a potential and to start creating the kind of results you were born to create is you have to start anchoring and calibrating to the energy and the belief that creates miracles. And that energy, my friend, is trust. You have to anchor in trust. It's almost literally the opposite of lack, right? Like, you have to anchor in trust in yourself, trust in your gifts, trust that life is supporting you 100%. Trust that you would not be given this desire to have a great impact in the world, this desire to make a great living, this desire to do great things and to serve your heart out. You would not be given any desire if you were not destined to essentially accomplish this desire. You would not be given any desires if that desire wasn't already possible for you, wired into you, programmed and destined for you. So the practicing trust, the calibrating trust is a process. It's a practice. We literally relax our nervous system and we start like getting curious as to what would I feel like? What would I think? What would I do if I trusted completely, absolutely, that I have what it takes, that people want what I have, that life supports me completely, that my way is here and will be revealed to me, that my success is inevitable? How would I be? What would it be like? What would I feel? Who would I be? How would I show up? What would I do if I truly anchored in and believed and embodied that trust at such a fundamental level? So you have to contemplate that. You have to play with it. You have to journal about it. One of my favorite practice is to go for a walk, holding that sense of radical and absolute self-trust, and see how your body moves. See like what kind of posture you have, and start embodying in your cells, in your bones, in your muscles, that sense of absolute trust, absolute, I'm destined for this. I was born for this. Life supports me in this. You have to become an instrument of trust. You literally have to start looking around you for proof that it is safe to trust. Because trust is the one necessary ingredient for receiving. You can't receive without trust. Trust is a practice. And in the end, lack, feeling not enough, is actually a lack of trust. So that's number 2. You just want to really anchor in trust, because a lack of trust is essentially a lack of trust in your own divinity. It's a lack of trust in your own perfection. And in the perfection, the organicity, the flow, the love, the creative genius of life. When you start releasing that sense of not enough on the inside, and you start really stepping into and embodying trust, that's when everything expands and everything releases. That's when you're able to start receiving what has been waiting for you, what is already all around you, but you can't have access to it. You can't see it. So first you become aware, and you start disrupting and uprooting anything within you that is afraid of success and doesn't feel worthy or good enough for success, and essentially is set up in lack. Then you practice calibrating, anchoring, and embodying trust. The next level, the next thing you do is you start calibrating and anchoring into the energy, the possibility, the potential, and taking action from the energy of the end result. So step 1 and 2 are all about inner work. They're all about like really becoming on the inside the person who succeeds. That letting go of not enough and the embodying and walking in trust is literally becoming your most sovereign being. Step 3 is all about action. It's about inspired, aligned action with the end in mind, with the desire, almost like the desire is already accomplished. You're moving, you're making decision, you're taking action from the energy of who you were born to become and what you were born to create. I call that your success signature. This is something I teach my clients. I take them through a process to really get a sense inwardly of what that looks like, what that feels like, so they can make very clear decision from that place. Most of us take action and make decision from where we are at now, how we feel right now, what feels real to us right now. But the only thing that does is it creates more of right now. So if you want more, if you know that you're destined for more, if you know that more is possible, then you need to literally anchor into, calibrate, align with the more, and start making decision and moving from that place of more. It's like putting an address in your GPS. When you're going somewhere, the address you put in your GPS isn't the address of where you're at. It's the address of where you want to go. And then you start moving, acting in ways that are aligned with your destination and actually bring you closer to it. So it's not always easy to do that because we don't always know how to step out of where we're at into what we want. But like trust, it's actually pretty simple, and it's a practice. We start imagining, we start using that big, amazing brain of ours for positive rather than for holding ourselves small. We start using it for expansion, for possibilities, rather than for scarcity, lack, and limits. So we anchor in trust, we relax our nervous system, we heal and meet all the parts of us who are afraid or in doubt. And then we calibrate to the energy, the feeling, the thoughts of the end result. And then we start moving. Now, when we do that, our success is literally inevitable. When we do that, the decisions we make, the choices we make, the steps we decide to take are aligned, and they can be trusted, and they will bring about results. When we move from the energy of success, however you define success, I'm not here to define success for you. You have to define that for yourself. But when you get a really embodied sense, a taste of what that looks like, and you start deciding and moving from that place, then you create success. When we move, when we decide, when we act from the energy of doubt, from the energy of not enough, from the energy of lack, then we create more of that. And this goes back again to trust that you would not have been given the desire to impact loads of people, the desire to make great money, the desire to serve your heart out, if the means to fulfill that desire wasn't already in existence. If the means to fulfill that desire wasn't already here and life wasn't already supporting you 100%. The fact that you have the desire to show up, to transform the world, to create a beautiful life for yourself means that you're wired, programmed, and destined for that, and that the possibility is already present. What's great about this is it takes some of the pressure off. You don't have to create the results you want. The results are already here. You just have to calibrate and align to it because they're hidden in the shadows. They're literally waiting for you to become the kind of person who gets those results, for the results to start showing up. So you literally have to become a match, an energetic match for what you want, and what you want reveals itself. The aligned, inspired actions, when you start embodying and moving and really calibrating with the end result, the energy of the end result, the actions you start taking from that place, it's not that they create your success, is they literally collapse time and they simply bring what is already here closer and reveal it. So we have to trust in ourselves. We have to trust in our innate power and our sovereignty in the depth, at the depths of our being. We have to trust in the power of our gifts. We have to trust that what we desire is already destined and fully supported and fully available. We have to trust that everything we need to succeed is already here, readily available. And we have to trust that our success is inevitable. We're simply in the process of collapsing time, of collapsing space, of calibrating to the right thinking, the right feeling, the right energy, and taking the right actions that will reveal what's already here. We don't know exactly the how. We don't know exactly the when, but that's part of the trust process, is that as long as we stay aligned and we are in action, the how, the path will be revealed. And as long as we keep walking that path and we keep taking these actions, then the when will happen in its own right time, which is why it's super important. And I talk a lot about commitment and consistency, because the only real power we have is showing up, is that trust, that inner trust and belief, and showing up. When we release the timeline and we decide that literally no matter what, I'm in it to win it, no matter what. I'm playing the long game. This shit's happening no matter what. My results are on their way to me no matter what. Then we keep moving and we release the pressure. Like I hate income goals a lot of the time because I feel like they pressure me. I rather have what I call process goals, where it's like all I care about is showing up in a certain way and showing up at my highest level. And then I walk in trust. And that's when the income goals happen. And the income goals, sometimes they happen in weird ways. Sometimes like you have the kind of business where you're making consistent money every month. But I also know people who literally will not make much for months, and then suddenly something will unlock, and in like 60 days, they'll make more than they made the last 6 or 7 months prior to that. We literally have to be in the flow of allowing the genius that is life to show up and bring our results in whatever way it wants to bring our results. So when we release the how, we surrender the timeline, we remove all the pressure that we've put on ourselves, and we remove any sense of potentially disappointment if it doesn't show up exactly how we want or exactly in the timeline that we were hoping. When strategy is executed from that sense of unwavering belief in yourself, from that sense of being fully supported by life, from that sense of my success is inevitable, when the time frame is surrendered, when We trust that the path will be revealed, and we just focus on staying in action. It's only a matter of time. So it's all about moving from that place and to keep going. You know, I talk a lot. I've done a few trainings about that, what I call the tsunami, like how the tsunami, when, you know, like almost like before the wave comes, it almost feels like it's actually retreating. It's super slow. It's super quiet. Nothing's happening. And then the wave comes. The wave comes. But we have to trust that the wave is coming, even if it's quiet, even if it doesn't seem that way. And we have to keep doing our thing, because every strategy works as long as it comes from the right energy. So that's what I have for you is, and in some ways it's almost 4-step. One is start reclaiming power and control in your life by paying attention, becoming aware, and uprooting any sense within you of lack and not enough, and everything that you see around you as lack or not enough. Start embodying, walking, claiming trust, because trust is the opposite of lack. Trust that that your desire is your destiny. Trust that you are absolutely and completely supported. Trust that you have what you need already and you don't have to create it. It's there waiting for you. And then you move from the end result, from that energy of who you are being, what you are creating, how you're feeling in that end result. And then you release the past, you release the timeline, and you just stay in action. Now, if you want my 3-step process, my simple strategy that will essentially grow your audience consistently, will allow you to turn strangers into buyers and collaborators with ease, then we have to work together. Because it can be simple, it can be fast, it can be joyful, it can be easeful. I know, because that's been that way for me, and I know because my clients have experienced it. You know, yesterday I did a training in the Sovereign Entrepreneur Academy, and we talked about events. That was the like how to use events to bring in clients and to build authority and trust really quickly. I always start my meeting by like everybody sharing where they're at, what's working, what's not working. And I think there was maybe 7 or 8 of us at the beginning of the meeting. And out of 8, there was 3 or 4 people who since last week had a new client. My clients are seeing results, and they're using, like, their business is so simple. So if you're ready to quantum leap your business and your results in 2022, if you're ready to design a really simple aligned business that literally creates twice the results you're used to in half the time, half the work, with half the effort, if you want your offers to fill up quickly and with a lot more ease, a lot more freedom, a lot more enjoyment, then I want to invite you to get on a call with me. I offer a full hour. I call them my aligned business breakthrough sessions. And essentially it's a full hour where you get my eyes on your business and we figure out what you need to expand your results with ease and to get booked out without burnout. We'll literally create like an aligned roadmap for you so you can reach that effortlessness in your success. And we'll discuss how I can support you in achieving your goals and actualizing your purpose. If that feels interesting to you, in the description of this live, you will find a link to book that call. And I love to talk to entrepreneurs. I'd love to be a partner in the impact and the wealth that you can create. If you're still here and you haven't said hi. And thank you so much for being all the way till the end. This was a really powerful live or training for me, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye, guys.